Biden to offer temporary safe haven to Hong Kong residents in U.S.
Here's a summary of the article.
Washington, August 5. The United States on Thursday plans to offer a temporary safe haven to thousands of Hong Kong residents, a senior administration official told Reuters, allowing them to extend their stay in the country in response to Beijing's crackdown on democracy in the Chinese territory. President Joe Biden is expected to sign a memorandum directing the State and Homeland Security Departments to grant Hong Kong residents in the United States an 18-month deferral of removal, the official said. The vast majority of Hong Kong residents in the United States are expected to be eligible, but there will be some legal conditions, the person said, calling it a temporary safe haven. The PRC continues to wield the national security law to deny basic rights and freedoms, to assault Hong Kong's autonomy, to undermine the remaining democratic processes in Hong Kong, the source said on condition of anonymity, using the official acronym for China. We will continue to take steps to support the people of Hong Kong given this ongoing repression, the official said. The measure is the latest in a series of actions Biden has taken to address what his White House says is the erosion of rule of law in the former British colony, which returned to Beijing's control in 1997. The U.S. government in July applied more sanctions on Chinese officials in Hong Kong, and issued an updated business advisory warning companies of risks of operating under the national security law, which China implemented last year to criminalize what it considers subversion, secessionism, terrorism, or collusion with foreign forces. U.S. lawmakers have sought legislation that would make it easier for people from Hong Kong fearing persecution after joining protests against China to obtain U.S. refugee status, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said the United States should accept people fleeing the Hong Kong crackdown.
This post received a score of 37,000, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Temporary, yeah. Well, China has a very long memory, so that may not cut it.
Well, it doesn't seem to say they can't register for a renewal of the temporary safe haven.
No, but if that period falls under another Trump, I could see it being denied and shipped straight back to their permanent imprisonment or deaths.
Yes, and that's why presidents need to push for congressional action on these issues, if they actually care about them. Only Congress can make this a law the president can't legally violate. That said, the courts would likely support these immigrants filing for political asylum on threat of death, even if a future Trump tries to deny any renewal of their status in the U.S.
I'm not sure that Republicans will be willing to pass anything that Biden could call a victory.
I'm not sure that Republicans will be willing to pass anything that Biden FIFY.
I'm not sure that Republicans will be willing to pass.
TBF, Herman Cain.
Low blow. 6 feet under to be exact.
Quick reminder that asylum for victims of political persecution is a guaranteed right in the European Union. Here is information about asylum in my home country. Please remember that you may only ask for asylum in the first EU country you arrive in.
Does HK fall under this legally? If you're in HK, can you move to the EU now? How is political persecution determined?
Yes. Germany has already recognized political refugees from HK since the new security laws were put in place and granted asylum. But it is a case-by-case situation. Further information is provided under the link.
A lot of people in this thread are questioning why the current administration is taking a half measure here. I would guess that this is meant to set a precedent for future action and/or wider acceptance of refugees from HK in the future, which is something both U.S. parties have been willing to entertain. Soft power is a very useful thing. It attracts others to our borders and makes us more appealing to people abroad. It is, however, often a slow creep. Expect more half measures for some time, barring some sudden and unforeseen change to relations.
Also, the U.S. executive has no mechanism to offer permanent residence in the U.S. Everything it does have is necessarily temporary protective statutes, deferred action on childhood arrivals. Obviously these things can get extended and essentially become permanent, but Biden can't create that policy right off the bat without Congress.
Generally, with these sort of things, offering temporary measures is accompanied by a fast-track program where, if the individual wants to, can tick some boxes and get their citizenship.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.